Then, round 8 then of the TCR International Series for 2015, and a very different look to the grid than that for round 7. On the right-hand side of your screen, you saw Kevin Gleeson, and you have to say that air and track temperatures climbing ever higher thanks to those beautiful blue skies. 28 degrees now our air temperature, 35 degrees the track temperature. Must be extremely warm inside those cars. There is Kelvin van der Linde. He will start race 2 from 6th on the grid, and while it was all about Nicky Thiem, his teammate in race 1, Thiem will be starting race 2 from 10th on the grid, and so you say that the hopes of the Engstler Liquimolly team very squarely on the hopes of Kelvin van der Linde in this race. But there's our pole sitter, Kevin Gleeson, from the United States, with something like 25 seconds or so to go until the green flag is waved. There is Stefano Comini, clearly anxious to get on with it. The 15-second board is held up, and so the green flag lap about to get underway. Pepe Oriola will be hoping for better fortunes than for race 1. A non-finish cost him valuable championship points. The green flag indeed waved. Off go our 16 cars, with Mikhail Grachev there at the bottom right of your screen, bringing up the rear of that 16-car grid. And there is Gianni Morbidelli, winner already so far this year, but the West Coast Racing team concerned, I think is a fair way of putting it, about the balance of performance situation where the Hondas are, in theory, penalised. Kevin Gleeson, though, on pole position for Honda. Let's see if that situation is reflected. Michel Nukia alongside him, then Sergei Afanasiev, then it's Comini, who'll be looking for another strong result. Gianni Morbidelli, always in the mix there somewhere, 5th alongside Kelvin van der Linde. Then it's Lorenzo Veglia, then it's Pepe Oriola, and then the next row of the grid, a reverse of our front row for race 1, Jordi Genet with Nicky Thiem alongside him. Then it's Beliki, then it's Francisco Mora in the Veloso Motorsport car, then Oscar Noguez, then it's Jose Monroy in the other Veloso entry, then Igor Shkuz, and as I mentioned, Mikhail Grachev, having switched from the Audi to the Seat, and the Seat, a very late arrival at the track yesterday, giving Grachev, his engineers and the team management very little time to get used to the car. But Grachev will be very happy indeed, as I'm sure with the team, with that performance in race 1. That is a great shot, you have to say. That split screen, Gleeson on pole, top left, then Afanasiev, then Comini, bottom left, then van der Linde, bottom right. As they weave to get some heat into their front tyres as they go round this green flag lap. It's Gleeson who stands to suffer the most by being on pole position. He will be the first man to form up, and then his car will sit there. The heat oozing from the tyres, although not so much, you'd say, in the air and track temperatures here in Portimao. A reminder of the drivers' points for you very briefly. So 24 points, the advantage from Comini to Oriola. Oriola determined to strike back on the second race here in Portimao. Then it's Morbidelli, then Beliki, then Genet, then Gleeson. And there is Comini on board his current favourite lady, Vanessa. You'll know the story if you were with us back at the beginning of the year at the first race in Sepang, which was won by Comini. He very excitedly beckoned over our cameraman to show him the name Vanessa written on the car's roll cage. Has a long history of naming his cars with ladies' names, and Vanessa is his current favourite. There she is with the Swiss flag on the rear doors. So Gleeson takes his time, his final chance to put some heat into those tyres as he heads up to the starting grid. Afanasiev, remember, having a drive-through penalty in race 1 for refuelling on the grid. And so he will be determined to get a good result in race 2. And what will happen in the drag down to the first right-hand corner at turn 1? Gleason then on pole position from Michel Nukia alongside. Then Sergei Afanasiev, Stefano Comini, Morbidelli, Van der Linde, Lorenzo Veglia. Then it's the car that we're on board with now, Pepe Oriola. Then Jordi Genet, and 10th on the grid, Niki Thiem, our race 1 winner. So, front row then formed up. Gleason on the right of your screen, Michel Nukia in the blue and white target competition Seat with the orange door mirrors. Row 4 of the grid is where Pepe Oriola will start, and we are expecting fireworks, I would suspect, going down to turn 1 at the start of this 13-lap race. As we look at the grid forming up, there is Noguez in the middle of your screen. There is Monroy on the right in the predominantly gold coloured Seat. Then it's Igor Shkuz. Then it's Grachev. The green flag signifies that the grid is formed. We're looking for the red lights to come on. There they are. They go off and we are racing. We're looking for a good start from the Seats. And indeed, there comes Afanasiev. And in fact, it looks as though it is indeed Michel Nukia who gets the advantage going down to turn 1. So it'll be, look, and slight contact, I would have said, between Afanasiev and Comini. But indeed, it's Nukia with some bodywork damage, it would appear, as the field streams through. Nukia from Gleason, from Comini, from Afanasiev, as one of the white Seats, and it's Comini already having a look up the inside of Gleason, with Afanasiev going round the outside. Then Van der Linde. Everybody cleanly through, it would appear. No repeat of our race 2 incident from Valencia just a week ago. Grachev already up from 16th to 12th after starting strongly from the back of the grid. One of the Seats getting sideways there. A little bumping and bagging. There you can see the damage to the front right of Nukia's car as Niki Thiem goes wheel to wheel with Gianni Morbidelli. Nukia then from Gleason, from Comini, Van der Linde up to 4th. Then it's Afanasiev who comes back at him. And that's the scrap between Morbidelli, Thiem, Beliki, and it seems that Thiem has come off quite badly from that little encounter. Indeed he has. And it's, as we look at the back of the grid, Noguez, Shkuz, Monroy and Mora. So it's the 2 Veloso Motorsport cars that prop up the back of the grid as the cars come round turn 15 through 16 and up to the finish line for the first time. Nukia then leads from Kevin Gleason. Comini is up to 3rd. Van der Linde already up to 4th. Then it's Oriola. Morbidelli down to 6th. Then it's Beliki. Then Lorenzo Veglia. Niki Thiem 9th. And it's Jordi Genet who's dropped a place from 9th to 10th. Then it's Grachev 11th, Noguez 12th, Skuz 13th, Monroy 14th, Mora 15th, and Afanasiev is into the pits. As yet, we don't know why. There is Afanasiev receiving attention from the mechanics. And there is Grachev having a look at the inside of his teammate Veglia. Veglia running very wide, also allowing Oscar Noguez and Monroy to get past. And Igor Shkuz, look at the body damage to the front left of Veglia's car. We'll see if we can find that on a replay. There is the view from Van der Linde's car looking ahead to Stefano Comini. Kevin Gleason is the man ahead of Comini in 2nd place, and our race leader, Michel Nukia, there he is, still sporting that damage, but untroubled it would seem. There's Oriola, Grachev. And there is Igor Shkuz that we barely saw in race 1 as Van der Linde goes, attempts to go around the inside. Oh, there's contact with Morbidelli. And is that Veglia's car? As we look at the field as they come up to start their third lap. Comini and van der Linde. Van der Linde just powering past the Seat as they go up the start-finish straight. Comini, remember, carrying the success ballast, and indeed, third place changes hands. Kelvin van der Linde for Audi through past Stefano Comini for third place. The next man in his sights is Kevin Gleeson. And you'd say after just 2 laps, just starting lap 3 of 13, the Audi already up into third place. Exactly what the team wanted. And will they take a pair of victories away from the Portuguese rounds of the TCR International Series? Down to turn 6, this tight left-hander. Comini then, with Pepe Oriola and Nicky Thiem behind him. Oriola, remember, the heaviest of the Seat drivers, 30 kilos. Comini ahead of him with 20. There's the view from van der Linde's car. That's Kevin Gleeson ahead, with Michel Nukia in the distance. Van der Linde not quite close enough to Gleeson to have an attempt at taking second place away. Slight puff of tyre smoke from Gleeson's car. Van der Linde right up behind him. That's turn 13. The left-hander, the much tighter left-hander at turn 14 to come. And already van der Linde taking a look at the back of Kevin Gleeson's car. And can he do the same this lap as he did to Pepe Oriola 1 lap ago? Around turn 16 for the 3rd time. Van der Linde, is he close enough? He certainly moves across. Let's take a look to see. No, not quite close enough, it would appear. So Gleeson holds second for now from van der Linde. Comini 4th, Oriola dropping to 5th. Then it's Nicky Thiem already up into 6th place from starting 10th on the grid. Van der Linde having a little look. But no, it's Gleeson who's got the line for that left-hander. And van der Linde now on the left-hand line, I think. He's done just enough. Yes, he has. Second place changes hands. No contact between the pair. A clean overtake for Kelvin van der Linde, already up into 2nd place. The race nowhere near half distance. The only man ahead of him now is Michel Nukia in the target competition. Seat Nukia carrying 10 kilos of success ballast. The Seat's already heavier than the Audis. So van der Linde having passed Kevin Gleeson for 2nd place. There's the battle for 4th and 5th. It's Stefano Comini holding off Nicky Thiem. Thiem all over the back of Comini's car, with Oriola in the background, waiting to capitalize to see if either driver makes an error. And in fact, Oriola goes through on the left-hand side, overtakes Nicky Thiem. Fantastic move from Pepe Oriola. Determined to come away from Portugal with some useful points. But that's that 3-way scrap. Comini from Oriola from Thiem. There is Comini, there's Oriola, and there's Nicky Thiem. Thiem just has a look up. There is our race leader, Michel Nukia. Van der Linde and Oriola just comes out to have a look at Comini, but no, as Andrea Bellicchi passes Jordi Genet. Bellicchi 7th, Genet 8th, Grachev 9th, Oscar Noguez 10th, and so on course for 1 more point for the Campos Racing team. Then it's Monroy, then Schguz, then Mora, Valia, Morbidelli, and Avanasiev way down. Valia, Morbidelli, and Avanasiev are in the pits. As we still keep an eye on that 3-way scrap for 4th place. Comini still holding on from Pepe Oriola, with Nicky Thiem in 6th. Slight puff of tyre smoke coming up from Camini's car as we look back towards Pepe Oriola. The gap's possibly just too much to have any effect on proceedings, as Nicky Thiem just has a little look. Camini runs wide there onto the green outside of the track. The three, though, right up close together as Pepe Oriola touches one of the very high curbs here in Portimao. Oriola must be very, very anxious to avoid a repeat of that race one puncture. There is Oriola. And the gap between Oriola and Nicky Thiem appears to have opened out ever so slightly. It's Oriola, though, who seems determined to do something about Stefano Camini ahead of him. The two come down the start-finish straight. Camini moves across. And Beliki behind Nicky Thiem, also having a look at the Audi driver. Oriola then still fifth ahead of Thiem. Then Beliki, then Genet. With Grachev ninth, Monroy having taken 10th away from Oscar Noguez. There's our race leader with Kelvin van der Linde now just about in attacking position. Beliki and Genet there, currently 7th and 8th, as Kelvin van der Linde has a look up the inside of that left-hander of Nicky Thiem has a look up the inside of Pepe Oriola. He does it again, and through he comes. So Nicky Thiem takes 5th place away from Pepe Oriola, and the next man in his sights will be Stefano Camini, as it's now Andrea Beliki who looks at Pepe Oriola. Beliki, of course, ballast free, whereas Pepe Oriola is carrying 30 kilos. So Thiem up into 5th, Camini 4th. Ahead of them, it's Gleeson 2nd, van der Linde, Kevin Gleeson 3rd, van der Linde 2nd, and Michel Nukia who leads. But that's the battle we're looking at now. Van der Linde just about within striking distance of Michel Nukia. The race just about in its second half as they come up to cross the finish line at the start at the end of lap 6, beginning of lap 7. And you've got to say that van der Linde is in the perfect position as looking down the start-finish straight, Camini and Nicky Thiem go at it once again, and it's Camini who takes the place back. Camini in car 25 and it's the Audi up the inside now for the right-hander. So those two battling. Nicky Thiem takes the place back once again from Stefano Camini. The pair touch. No damage done, though, as Camini looks to retake that place. As his teammate, Kelvin van der Linde, looks up the inside of Michel Nukia. Going around turn 6. It's the left-hander at turn 7. Then it's turn 8, a blind brow. Lots of changes of elevation here at Portimao. One of the reasons the drivers enjoy this track so much. But that is the scrap for the lead. Michel Nukia holding off Kelvin van der Linde at the moment. And this is the battle we'll concentrate on as van der Linde goes over that blind brow for the right-hander at turn 12. Down the hill. Turn 13, no, Michel Nukia holds on. There in the distance you saw 3rd place Kevin Gleeson. Way, way back from this scrap. He's coming under pressure now from 4th place Nicky Thiem. As they head down to turn 16, this long, long right-hander that brings us back up to the start-finish straight. Michel Nukia holding his nerve. Sayat from Audi. Denmark from South Africa. As behind you see the 2nd Audi of Nicky Thiem just having a look at Kevin Gleeson. then it's Comini, then it's Pepe Oriola, then Andrea Bellicchi, then Jordi Genet, as Nicky Thiem goes past Kevin Gleeson for third place. So 2 Audis now in the top 3. And Nicky Thiem sets off into pursuits of these 2 cars. There you see Seat, Audi, Honda is how the top 4 look at the moment, with Nicky Thiem having passed Kevin Gleeson for third place. They go up to turn 7. But again, Michel Nukia holding his nerve. Kelvin van der Linde right up behind him in second place. Then it's Kevin Gleeson, but we'll concentrate on the battle for the lead, which promises to be absolutely fascinating. They go up to this blind brow. The brake lights come on Michel Nukia's car. Kelvin van der Linde has a look up the right-hand side, but no. Michel Nukia defends, moving across through 13, up into 14, and then it's the long right-hander at turn 15. Van der Linde moves to the left, cuts back up the inside, has a look, forcing Nukia out. No, Nukia holds the line. This is brilliant stuff from the Danish driver. Nukia then comes into turn 16 to start his 9th lap of the race. Nukia then from Kelvin van der Linde, from Nicky Thiem, from Kevin Gleeson. There's our top 4. The gap between Nicky Thiem and van der Linde, not that great either. As we look back down the field, there's Comini, Oriola, Bellicchi and Genet. Genet currently 8th. Mikhail Grachev 9th, Jose Monroy 10th, and in the final of the point-scoring places. But that's the view from van der Linde's car, currently 2nd. Michel Nukia, you have to say, has driven brilliantly to keep the Audi driver at bay. With the amount of knowledge and experience that the Audi customer guys have brought with them this weekend, the Audis have been absolutely transformed, you have to say. I know changes were made to the cars after Valencia, but it's been the input from these 2 drivers, Nicky Thiem and Kelvin van der Linde, and the Audi guys that have come here to Portimao to help out the Engstler Liquimoli team, excuse me, that has been absolutely invaluable. And once again, Kelvin van der Linde takes a look at the inside of Michel Nukia, but Nukia holds his nerve. First, second and third then, and Nicky Thiem moves right up alongside to join in that battle. So it's now a 3-way scrap on lap 9 of 13. So van der Linde having to defend from his teammate as well as attacking Michel Nukia for the lead. This may take a little of the pressure off Michel Nukia. So 18-year-old Kelvin van der Linde and 26-year-old Nicky Thiem, 2 young guns for Audi. Van der Linde holds on from Nicky Thiem. So Nukia then from van der Linde, from Thiem, from Gleeson, Comini, Oriola, Bellicchi, Genet, Grachev and Monroy. Outside the points, Oscar Noguez and Igor Shkuz. But all eyes are on this scrap, this 3-way fight for the podium places. Under 4 laps remaining, there's the view back from Kelvin van der Linde, looking back at Nicky Thiem, who just takes a look at the inside of his teammate, going around turn 6. And this is the move that Nicky Thiem made, just slight contact. But Nicky Thiem, 3rd behind Kelvin van der Linde. Michel Nukia, though, still has the upper hand. Kevin Gleeson driving over, and van der Linde slowing. No, that was Nicky Thiem, excuse me, that was slowing. It's Nukia from van der Linde. Let's see if we can pick up that second Audi. There is Nicky Thiem, and there's the cause of his problem. Front right puncture caused by that contact. So the team also now aware, it's exactly the same time as you were, of the problem with Nicky Thiem's car, but he now coasts back around to the pits. So the pressure then taken off Kelvin van der Linde as the leading duo start their 11th lap of 13. Nukia from van der Linde, Kevin Gleeson back up into third from Comini, Oriola, who's coming back at Comini, then it's Beliki, then it's Jordi Genet, Grachev, Monroy and Noguez having all moved up a place. Noguez back in the point-scoring positions. This is the incident. Car 9 there is Kelvin van der Linde, 3 is Nicky Thiem. And where is van der Linde? While we were looking at that replay, we've lost the second of the Audis. You'll have to forgive my astonishment. There it is, parked up. So after that stunning performance in race 1 and on the verge of taking the lead in race 2, the Audis are relegated to DNFs, did not finish in this second race in Portimao. That takes all the pressure off Michel Nukia as Kelvin van der Linde walks away from his car. Nicky Thiem already in the pits to have that puncture replaced, but Michel Nukia now out on his own as he drives up towards turn 15. There is Kevin Gleeson in second place, which will be, if things stay as they are, his best result of the season. The Michelin engineers taking a look at the tyre that's come off the car to see if they can work out what happened and what caused the puncture as Michel Nukia crosses the finish line to start his 12th lap, the penultimate lap then. There is Kevin Gleeson. Comini in third now, Pepe Oriola fourth, Andrea Beliki fifth, Jordi Genet in sixth, but those four, the two Target cars and the two Craft Bamboo Lukoil cars, embroiled in their own fights. There's the view from Oriola's car. That's Comini in front of him, car 25. Yellow flags being waved because of the Audi parked up on the right-hand side of the track. There's Nukia, yawning gap back to Kevin Gleeson. Then it's Comini, who's now coming under pressure from Pepe Oriola. Contact between the pair, Oriola runs wide, and that would allow the Target car of Andrea Beliki and the Lukoil Seat of Jordi Genet to go through. So indeed it is Beliki now in third, Genet in fourth, Oriola now fifth, and Comini having dropped to sixth. Let's look at that again as Oriola moves across. And it's, in fact, Comini who starts to slide. No contact between the pair. It was just Comini who slid. We'll take a look back. Was there contact? If there was, it was the lightest of touches. Oriola avoids the sliding Comini. Comini gets going again. No damage done, but it was just over-driving, over-keenness on the part of Stefano Comini. So it's now Beliki third ahead of Jordi Genet, Pepe Oriola. Then it's the gold Veloso Motorsport car of Jose Monroy you saw there. So as the cars come up to start their final lap, Michel Nukia now, 3.5 seconds or thereabouts, the lead over Kevin Gleeson. Andrea Beliki third, Jordi Genet fourth, Pepe Oriola fifth, but breathing down his teammate's neck. Jose Monroy in sixth. Then it's Mikhail Grachev, then Oscar Noguez, and Stefano Comini sliding all over the place, and you see there possible damage to the rear of the car. But there is our race leader, Michel Nukier. Second at the moment, Kevin Gleeson. Third is Andrea Bellicchi. Then it's Genet, with Oriola breathing down his neck. Half a lap or thereabouts, a little over to do something about that situation. Jose Monroy also sporting body damage in 6th. Grachev up into 7th. Noguez 8th. Comini down in 9th. And Francisco Mora in 10th, and the last of the points places. As we look at that scrap between the two Craft Bamboo Lukoil teammates, can Pepe Oriola do anything about Jordi Genet on this final lap? Will the extra 30 kilos put paid to any chance of Oriola getting past Genet? But Michel Nukier has been sporting that body damage right since the start of the race. It's not done him any harm at all. He rounds turn 15 for the final time. One more corner between Michel Nukier and the checkered flag. And the incredible run of different race winners continues. It's round 8 of the TCR International Series. Michel Nukier takes the checkered flag, to the delight of the target competition team, to become our 7th race winner from 8 races. Kevin Gleeson finishes 2nd. Jordi Genet holds off Pepe Oriola for 3rd. Oriola finishes ahead of Jose Monroy. Then it's Grachev, then Oscar Noguez. We're waiting for Francisco Mora, it is, who finishes 8th. Then Igor Shkuz, then Andrea Bellicchi, who finishes 10th. And you can see there Bellicchi pulling to a halt with smoke from the car. Front damage, it would appear. But the race having belonged to Michel Nukier, a superb job. That scrap with Kelvin van der Linde went on and on and on. And you have to say, Nukier drove brilliantly to hold off the charging Audi. Oriola will be wondering what on earth happened. His 4th place finish, the only consolation after that non-finish in race 1. And Andrea Bellicchi, looking at the rear of the car, it would be the front that I think needs closer attention. Race result then for you from round 8 of the TCR International Series. Michel Nukier, the winner, from Kevin Gleeson, from Jordi Genet, from Pepe Oriola. Jose Monroy must be delighted with his 5th place, his TCR debut. Mikhail Grachev 6th in the Seat. Oscar Noguez 7th in the Opel. Then Francisco Mora. Igor Shkuz gets his first points of the season by finishing 9th. Then Andrea Bellicchi rounds off the top 10, but pulling up on the start-finish straight just after having crossed the finish line. Stefano Comini will take no points home from this 2nd race in Portugal, finishing 11th. But you have to say the target competition team will be more than happy with that race winner. All 3 of their drivers have now won races. Kevin Gleeson, I'm sure, will be relieved after complaining about the car's balance this weekend to have finished 2nd. And Jordi Genet will say, thank you very much. Another podium finish. More useful points for me, thank you. 3rd place for Genet, 4th for Oriola, and as I say, 5th for Jose Monroy. So another victory for a Seat Leon. Whether that will have any impact on the balance of performance situations ahead of the next round of the series in 2 weeks' time in Monza in Italy remains to be seen. But certainly the West Coast Racing Honda team were complaining beforehand that they felt they were being penalised. So Comini's lead now cut to 12 points from Pepe Oriola. Morbidelli 3rd, Jordi Genet 4th, Kevin Gleeson 5th, ahead of Andrea Bellicchi, but 50 points separating the top 6. Michel Nukier that race victory will have done his championship aspirations no harm whatsoever. Up to 7th in the table thanks to those 25 points. And Kevin Gleeson there taking the applause of the West Coast Racing engineers and mechanics, the guys in the white shirts right ahead of him. But the applause for all 3 drivers, particularly for this man, who is clearly delighted. Michel Nukia, he's had to wait 8 rounds for it. We suspected that Nukia would be among the race winners this year. And hugs and congratulations, both from the Target Competition team and from Jaime Puig from Seat Sport in the background. Very well done, Michel. Jordi Genet in the background in the Lukoil overalls. As you see the sight there of Kevin Gleeson receiving the congratulations of the West Coast team. So Seat, Honda Seat is how it finished. Target Competition from West Coast Racing from Craft Bamboo Lukoil. Walter Gummerer, team boss of Target Competition, offers his congratulations. The team split between here in Portimao this weekend and running the cars in the Seat Leon Euro Cup at Estoril. But there is confirmation of round 8 of 22. The results stand as follows. Michel Nukia, our race winner, from Kevin Gleeson, Jordi Genet, Pepe Oriola, Jose Monroy, Michel Grachev, Oscar Noguez. It is Francisco Mora 8th, Igor Shkuz 9th, and Andrea Bellicchi, relieved to have got his car across the line, in 10th. Then it's Stefano Camini, who must be ruining his bad luck, ahead of Kelvin van der Linde. But let's talk to our delighted race winner, Michel Nukia, and he's with Fabio Ravaioli.
Michel Nukia, congratulations. Your tremendous victory in the second race at Algarve. You managed to keep the Audi at bay.
Yeah, it was incredible. His first race, I hit my teammate Andrea. I'm very sorry for this. The mechanics do a very good job fix the car, and I can start. I make perfect start, P1. After that, I could see the Audi after me, and I tried to close some doors around the corner, the track. And after that, I thought it was gone both. So I think maybe I drive them tired. So yeah, I'm so happy. And the mechanic, this is, yeah, if they don't make the car like this, I couldn't win.
And this is a track that is very tough from the front-wheel drive. You had that problem in the past, but today you managed to handle the situation in a perfect way.
Yeah, we of course we have some tires, very good tires on the car now, and I couldn't handle, of course, the last 5 laps or something. I could feel the car moving some strange things, but I was lucky they also do it, and they was gone. So the last 2 or 3 rounds, I just take it easy and save my tires a little bit, so nothing happened. And I was almost crying when I go get the checker flag, because crashed in first race and now win is, yeah, it's incredible.
Congratulations, thank you.
An emotional Michel Nukia talking there to Fabio Ravaioli, and you can see what that win means to him. In terms of points, it means he's now 7th on the leaderboard, but Stefano Camini still leads ahead of Pepe Oriola. From Gianni Morbidelli, that consistency from Morbidelli and the consistency of Jordi Genet, both race winners, of course, but 3rd and 4th on the points leaderboard, ahead of Kevin Gleeson. Then it's Bellicchi, Nukia, Avanasiev, Grachev, and René Munich. And I'm slightly surprised to see René Munich on the leaderboard, considering he's not here. He was on 31 points, and I'm pretty sure that Nicky Thiem was on 30. After 5 points for pole position and 25 for his race win. But after that stunning performance in race 1 and very nearly taking the lead in race 2, the 2 Audis, neither of them finished race 2. In terms of teams, Target Competition have a 31-point advantage over Team Craft Bamboo Lukoil. West Coast Racing 3rd ahead of Liqui Moly Engstler, although today won't have done the team any harm at all. And Veloso Motorsport from Portugal, a great home race for their 2 cars. Wow! Incident-packed, doesn't begin to cover it for our second race here in Portimao. Thanks for watching. We've a short break, no race in TCR International Series next weekend. We rejoin the action in Monza in Italy in 2 weekends' time. But from me, Mark James, and all of us here in Portimao, thanks for watching. Bye-bye. And for those TV broadcasters still with us, this is our podium ceremony. First onto the podium at the end of this round 8 of the 2015 TCR International Series, Jordi Gené. There you see an extremely relieved Kevin Gleeson, his best result of the season so far in front of his mum and dad, but the top step of the podium reserved for a clearly delighted Michel Nukier. Andreas Gummerer from Target Competition will represent the team to collect the trophy for the best team, but after the national anthems. For the second time today, the Danish national anthem sounds out over the Portimao circuit. Paulo Pinheiro, the chief executive of the track here in Portimao, presents the prizes. Third place to Jordi Gené, second place to Kevin Gleeson. And for first place, the heartiest congratulations go to Michel Nukier, with the team's award going to Target Competition, who will be extremely pleased that all 3 of their drivers have now won rounds of the TCR International Series. Our photographers urging everyone to bunch up for the winner's photograph before the inevitable champagne spraying. And the sponsorship of the champagne by Pommery. Just a slight twist. Andreas Gummerer getting well out of the way, but not far enough, it would appear, as all 3 drivers spray the champagne on their teammates, their colleagues below, and a very gentlemanly clinking of the champagne bottles. Yet more photographs to come, though, and our congratulations to Michel Nukier for taking his first win of the season, and for Kevin Gleeson taking his best result of the year, and of course Jordi Gené, another podium finish for him. So, for those of you still with us, thanks for your company. We'll see you in Monza.